down in this brush here. Mineski have already placed 3 wards along the way. 4 wards now to spot out any invades coming in for Infinite. They do have Jinx to kind of see the last invade part coming out from Infinite. They're going to back away from this one after spotting that one out. Jinx gonna wait around here still, being a little had to burn the flash. TG a little bit out of position there. Good snare coming out from Xerath just to burn that flash from TG. Minions have finally spawned, so we're gonna have to see where Insta decides to go here. Momo would probably try to come back down to his blue buff, try and pick that one up early, but Insta getting spotted out by the traps placed down by Nearly. Might be able to use that to the advantage and find out where he's going to start at level 1.
Right, so very distinctive passive start coming in from Mineski. Like you mentioned earlier, they don't want to be, giving out the blue buff too early. So in the sense, letting Mawal stick with blue buff, and that's rather important for the Amumu in the jungle as well, because in the early stages you'll need all your spells and all the spare as well to kind of clear out the minion waves. The jungle waves, I would call it.
Sure will. So we're actually going to see Insta here pick up that red buff without a problem. Gonna actually roam down to this bottom lane so early. I don't like this decision coming from Insta because he's such an aggressive jungler. I felt like he should grab his second buff and then abuse Amumu in terms of being a very weak early jungler. Instead, he's gonna run out to this bot lane, which might actually make bot lane lose this push war because TG and C3D will win the push war. But now Xerath's gonna get hooked up. Here comes the flash from Insta. That was a very poor play. Very overzealous play coming in from Infinite. I don't think that was necessary at all.
Right, I would say that was a very big risk coming in from him because he kind of recognizes the fact that Amumu needs his early jungle buffs in order to be effective. But in the sense, if you're able to make the first move, make the first successful aggressive play, then definitely you would have snowballed your laners in that advantage. But burning that flash in the process and not getting anything out of it, that was the main point. Like you mentioned, it's just overzealous play.
Infinite were able to win that level 1 push war, but not able to do too much about it. Mineski might be pushed back into this tower very shortly. The Depth Sentence does not connect with anyone and just hits that cannon minion instead. So let's get some nice poke damage down, but Zyra with the lackluster range now is a little bit squishy as well. We're actually going to see some aggression on the Xerath. He gets ignited. An auto attack comes up from C3D. He's going to live. No, he will not live with a sliver of health. Now TG going really aggressive onto Firebox. Barrier has been popped. Death Sentence will connect. He's going to jump back in with the flay. And everybody is going to absolutely die and just look at the bodies drop to the floor. My goodness. Double kill will go on to Caitlyn. I have to check for you. Yes, so we did see Thresh pick up a kill himself there, but a very crazy fight down at the bot lane. Good Death Sentence coming out. I don't think he should have used the second proc and should have just walked up for the flay instead.
Right, but I would say overall in the exchange, before that, let's see a replay there. There was a very good flay coming in from C3D in that sense, just keeping Xerath and Firefox. And the final pick of Ignite was able to take Xerath down the exchange. So Firefox left to fend against TG and C3D here, and the passive popping coming in from TG and the minions as well, doing a lot of damage onto TG and C3D here. So with that one final flay and that auto attack coming in from Firefox will pick up the double kill.
That's where I felt like Thresh should have actually not used that second proc of the Death Sentence. That way there is no downtime between the crowd control. He would have gotten the knockup from the flay and also the stun coming in from the Death Sentence, and that would have allowed him to stay alive and not take a tower shot, and it could have potentially saved TG's life as well because Firefox might not have been able to get an auto attack off. But now Firefox being locked down once again. The flay comes out. TG though taking some damage in return. He is ignited. Firefox might live with some. TG, what are you doing? And Xerath will pick up the kill under the tower. Now C3D is in a little bit of a triple. He walks through the brush. He might go through the traps here. Getting some good damage down onto Xerath. He might actually get the Death Sentence, does not. That's going to make him stop moving. Firefox should be able to pick up this kill. Xerath, scumbag Xerath will pick that one up instead. So Infinite outplaying this bottom lane. I mean, TG is not doing too well here. Su now in a lot of problems as Noel is going aggressive onto him. We see Insta come in for the knock-up and stop any aggressive advances by them.
That's right, and it was purely, Team Infinite, they're just exploiting that small advantage that they had down in the bottom lane, because what happened in the initial exchange was that for Mineski, they burnt the entirety of their summer spells there, and for Xerath and Firefox, they still had their summoner spells up, and because of that, you know, they came up ahead with that 2 kills there, and you know, very good positioning coming in from Firefox. He kind of just anticipated where the death sentence would, you know, kind of fly into it, and he was able to sidestep that, and you know, very good grasping roots coming in from Zeros as well, just to lock him down in place for that final bit of damage to finish off that bottom lane.
So a lot of aggression happened at the bottom lane. I think it's safe to say that Infinite coming out on top for that bottom lane. Meanwhile, the mid lane and top lane haven't talked about too much. EXO using that new animation to stop his auto attacks before they fly out. But top lane going as it would be expected. Snoy getting a pause. Yep, as expected, pause. But yes, it's going as expected. I mean, Renekton doing very well against Shen here. He's quite a decent laner, Renekton. He's very, very strong in the top lane right now. Meanwhile, the mid lane, we can see that Nidalee is being denied a little bit of minion score, but not too far behind Shu on Riven in the mid lane. We saw a lot of jungle ganks going into the mid lane as well.
Once again, we will be going straight back into the game of this one, and like you mentioned earlier, you know, Renekton naturally just does a little bit better when you face up against Shen in the process, just because you have that call to make to kind of restore your health, and you'll be able to naturally trade better in that sense. But we do have to watch out for level 6. That's when it's gonna start to change things, when Poshcap gets Stand United in that sense. But the good thing about that Renekton pick as well is that you do have that Ruthless Predator to, you know, kind of stop him in his tracks. If you see that, you know, he's trying to pull off a sneaky reinforcement for his teammates.
So TG here ranking up his switcheroo instead of the zap here. We saw the other day most Jinx ranking up the zap instead, but we have seen a few players go for the switcheroo, and I think it's a good decision as well, because since Firefox and Zeros did win out in the early phases of the game, that extra range coming in from the switcheroo should be able to help him out get a few extra last hits.
That's right. So what do you think of the, you know, there was some nerves coming in for Jinx in the contest. What do you think it, you know, primarily affected?
I don't think it really affected Jinx so much. I just think it really toned her down in terms of just being a quite overpowered champion on release. I don't think it affected her playstyle too much, but we actually can see Gank coming here as Noel comes in. He is level 6, might be able to lock up Xerath. We'll lock him up with the bandage toss. We'll get the ultimate down on the Curse of the Sad Mummy. I think he used that a little bit too early though, but Shen does get interrupted by Renekton at the top lane, so PG will take down Xerath. We're going to have Instinct coming here with a flash knockout, a little bit of a strange play by him, but he's going to C3D can death sentence a minion, but pull it too close to him to use it as an escape, but double kill will go on to Insta as Noel is now getting battered down by Firefox, and Insta will not be able to capitalize on that, but they do pick up a 2-for-1 exchange in that bottom lane.
And a very good exchange as well. As we head into replay here, we do see Rob burning the quick, because of the Sad Mummy here, and Zeros just goes down way too quickly, and it's quick to react to this one with that flash and flag split combo, just taking out TG with ease. And C3D here with a little herpy drop here, you know, wanting to gain some distance with the death sentence, but that lance coming in from Insta was just too strong for him to handle.
So up at the top lane, we did see Snoy actually cancel out the teleport coming in from Porsche Club, use it in a not so much poor position, but a position whereby he was able to cancel out. EXO here going aggressive onto Su, who's going to get stunned down. Su going to go aggressive back onto EXO, has popped the ultimate, throws it at minions. Su's not what he meant to hit. Here goes the, wow, the javelin is a lot of damage. EXO checks his auto attack though, not able to get the last hit off. Would not have been enough to finish off Riven. Anyway, and I don't like this Doran's blade start from Riven. I mean, yes, it's good for you to be aggressive, but I felt like Doran's shield against a Nidalee is more than enough to stop any damage coming out from her auto attacks from levels 1 to 6. And I felt like he could have dominated this lane if he went for the Doran's shield start instead.
Right, and Exo right there demonstrating, ladies and gentlemen, why Fish hates that Nidalee pick.
Cat OP. I mean, it forced Su to use his ult on creep on minions. I mean, Su was that scared. Like, oh my goodness, it's a cat. Have to run.
And rather interesting item start for EXO here as he goes for that early Tear of the Goddess. We have seen that item kind of fall off its popularity ever since the change coming into that item. You know, it's rather difficult for it. definitely would come out on top in terms of the team fight potential, just because of that, because of the set mummy synergizes also well with the Jinx picks, as we do see Snoy getting engaged onto by
Snoy.
up there.
Don't do this, Snoy. You are behind in terms of items. So Snoy gets engaged on and literally uses his dominance and the slice and dice to clear out the minion wave. So we're going to see a dragon attack coming from Mineski. The smite from Insta is way too early. Now Zera's in a lot of trouble. Gonna live, and the SMD rocket absolutely misses him. So does the spear. Insta though is stuck behind as well. The Cataclysm will come into TG. He will flash out of it though as Firefox takes damage from a spear once again. Exo still being so annoying, throwing out more and more javelin toss, but kill smite coming from Insta won't allow Mineski to pick up that dragon.
Right. So, I mean, you had a very interesting inertial for
SMD rocket, Super Mega Death Rocket.
Right, well, I think, you know, if you call it by the full name, it has more impact onto it. Super Mega Death Rocket, man. It's not difficult to say.
But I've always wanted to say the SMD rocket, because SMD rocket just sounds so amazing. Don't you agree?
Well, SMD rocket, I mean, I've never thought about it that way, but Super Mega Death Rocket, man, you have to give it to him, you know, that's just an impactful name. But I guess I can work with SMD rocket.
It was a shame he didn't get the cast yesterday, because we got to see the Super Mega Death Rocket and Mega Inferno Bomb combo, which was amazing to cast with those two names out there. But Coach Cup, now that Snoy has gone back to base to grab his Sunfire Cape, is able to bully him out once again because he is on the same level of items.
Right, and I think something about those ultimate and the names is that it's so deceptive, you know. You have that one small little cute rocket just flying into your way, but once it hits your face, it's just so devastating.
That's why it is the Super Mega Death Rocket. So we're gonna see Firefox here. He's gonna be pushing down this bottom lane. Has that best friend sword compared to Jinx, who is going for what seems to be the static shiv pickup early on, which I feel like a lot of 80 carries with attack speed steroids are picking up as their first item lately. It's kind of going back to the old days of picking up Zeal as the first item. Back when Zeal was said, no, it's the worst item to pick up as an AD as your first item, but every AD started doing it in competitive play and it became normal. But then now we're seeing static shiv become popular again. It was popularized on Tristanas quite a lot, but we've seen quite a few champions pick it up. Even last game we saw Vayne pick it up for Azubu Type Assassins as the first item.
I think it's mainly because there's a lot of emphasis on, you know, just having that static shift just helps you so much more when you want to wave clear even more effectively than you are now. Because I think, you know, effectively when you want to look at wave clear, marksmen, some of the marksmen don't have the best potential to do so. So having that static shift just supplements what you kind of lose out on.
I mean, now we're going to see actually Noel go aggressive onto this mid lane as Insta pops the ultimate. Down comes Porsche Cup. Noel will live though, and Exo will also live. No, he will not. He pops the barrier. He's going to flash away as well. Double kill will go to Snoy. Now he's going to turn it onto Porsche Cup, who is in a lot of trouble, and Snoy will pick up the triple kill with the dominance as the SMD rocket is going to fly off across the map.
A very, very quick reaction play coming in from Mineski here. In the sense, you know, it was Noel that called in for the aggression there, you know, just diving way past the turret in that one. I kind of understand the mindset coming in from Inferno there. They wanted to counter engage with that double pick, but it's at a point of time where there's enough damage coming in from Exo. So let's take a look at the replay now of what exactly happened. So the standing item was popped onto Sue there, but you know, this damage coming in from the dominance, and there was a little bit of a misplay coming in from Insta there, you know, having that Cataclysm to lock his teammates up instead, and that allowed Snoy to, you know, have so much damage coming in from the dominance. And you know, Porsche Cup here with that one remaining few HP and Exo throwing out there. Yeah, just look at that spear.
Most annoying champion in the game, but yeah, he just pretty much did the famous meme of I'm driving, I'm helping. he did an I'm driving, I'm helping, popped his ultimate and said, yeah guys, let's do this, but his team was stuck in the middle of the dominance of the cry coming in from that sad mummy. And now Death Sentence goes on to Jarvan. TG is going to get some good auto attacks out. Instant's going to try and get the knockup, fails the knockup as the choppers go down. Here comes Noel with another great hook, with the Mineski team here being very good on those hook champions. Noel's just going to keep crying at them, use those tears to shred some blood. Insta getting taken down quite low. Curse of the Sad Mummy comes out. Rocket goes onto Insta. It's not up. The SMD Rocket gets blocked by Porsche Cup.
So what a waste of the SMD rocket now.
Super Mega Death Rocket does get blocked up by Porsche Cup there, and nice play coming from Mineski. We're not able to capitalize on it though, and Infinite did a good job of fleeing from the scene.
Right, but at the same time, they did left Exo down in the mid lane just to be farmed by himself. It does look like he will be able to shove out that lane pretty effectively, and having a very interesting item to start off as well, having that Icon. So I mean, it just proves to show he wants those early game damage, early cooldowns as well, just to toss out as much javelins as he can.
See, this Morellonomicon, it's kind of strange because on Nidalee, I like it when there's somebody that has a heal in the opposition team, because when you throw it and you hit somebody below 50%, they said no, for the next few seconds you're not getting any health back. You're not allowed to get health. So I like the pickup here, but I thought that pure damage would have been a lot better pickup from Nidalee, just after, especially after a tier. I thought a Rabadon's would be better. Anything to do with damage, like just pure damage, would be a lot better for the Nidalee pickup, just because the javelins do scale so well with ability power.
That's right, and it's just reminds me of the time when I was casting with Darren a couple of days back, and we compared the Nidalee spear to, it is progressively painful as you get more and more AP. So at first it's just a slap in the face, and eventually it would just become this high heal in your crotch thing. The amount of pain coming in from the javelin toss
sounds very, very painful. I mean, I disagree though, because at the start of the game it feels like a super mega death rocket. I mean, Nidalee spears are just so annoying. Exo here has the blue buff as well, so he's not afraid to throw one out every few seconds.
Right, so Mineski now daring to go up.
4-second cooldown. Zeres is gonna die here probably if he lands an incredible spear, which he will not be able to do so, but still, look at that, just one spear is enough.
So much hurt coming in from that javelin toss, and Exo here doing all he can to zone out Insta in the exchange, and Insta was not able to try to even come into this to take away the dragon. So very quick successful pickup from Mineski here onto the objective dragon here, so putting themselves to a good 4k advantage in this game. And this was after Infinite having such a great early game as well, so great job on the side of Mineski to come back into this one.
And look at that, Exo 3-on-1, no problem. Let's just throw spears. There goes another one. Almost hit somebody. Doesn't matter. It's back up. Here goes another one. Almost hit somebody again. And it's going to be back up. He's just going to keep rinsing and repeating. Every time he has blue buff, that spear almost hit as well, which would be devastating to Infinite. Death Sentence barely misses onto Zeres as a spear hits him again. He's going to lock down though by the knockup coming from Insta, and the knockup coming in, but Exo clicks the Dark Passage for some reason, as Zeres is going to live with a sliver of health. We have TG though, goes on the Flame Choppers and hits double golems while he flashes over to get the kill onto Zeres. Ace is going to flash over, will he get the flag execute? Noel will not block that ace in the hole, but he will pop the curse of the Sad Mummy and run away. Scumbag Noel says, no, I don't want to die for you.
It might be a little bit of a positioning error there, but this time around he is in some trouble as he faces off against Sukia. But once again, Exo with the non-stop barrage of javelin tosses, but it does look like this time around they might not be able to repel Infinite onto this mid lane turret here. As we do see Infinite making quick work of it and securing the turret for themselves, equalizing the turret count 3-3.
Exo here gonna keep chasing down, keep throwing spears. Doesn't have that blue buff anymore, but he does have a Tear of the Goddess, so... Oh wow, Firefox, wow. I mean, that's a new look. Look at that.
I think it's a spectator bug there, but it's a pretty cool look, having that Chomper animation just hover around you.
Chomper Caitlyn on the case.
I think, some of this animation bugs just kind of make me laugh all the while.
It reminds me of the old Ignite bug, which happened in-game, whereby if you got ignited right as you died, the Ignite would stay on you. The debuff icon would stay on you, so it just looks like you're constantly ignited, and it would scare you every single time you have low health.
So this time it's going to be...
Chomper bug.
Constantly chomped.
Chomped. Always locked down by Flame Chopper. So it's going to disappear as soon as you press B. So he put out the fire with the blue pill. Look at that.
Ah, I see.
That's how you get rid of it.
Yeah.
Snorri has that blue buff, not so affected on it because he is a Fury-based champion. He's got 3 kills and 37 minion score right now, so he's quite tanky with so much armor build up. Exo here gonna chase down onto Insta, change it to human form and throw a javelin? No.
Right, so as you mentioned, for the side of the side of Mineski here, Snorri is relatively quiet, farming up by himself, and this time around team will be forced to group up once again.
As you see Exo again throwing spears. That's all he wants to do. Zeres was taken down to half health by 1. Insta sees one flying in his face. He says, no, I'm not having anything to do with this.
Right, I like the gameplay, the strategy coming in from Mineski now because they recognize that, oh, once again with that spear.
Insta's gonna pay for this one though as he gets death sentence, he's gonna get slain by TG. Exo gets tanked a few tower hits, but doesn't matter too much as TG will get the get excited. He chooses not to chase down or will get some good damage off as Firefox has to flash away from a spear. The knockout will go down onto TG, but nobody else. The spear will go and hit Firefox in the face, taking him down.
Right,
Yeah, that OP. One more spear. Does he have it in him? He does, but it's just not enough to take down Xerath. Not enough range.
Right, so very, very quick and good aggression as we do.
Sue, what are you doing? Sue, this is not where you should be. He's gonna die.
I think he was a bit lost there.
A bit suicidal. I mean, he wanted to take one for the team. He wanted to avenge his comrades, but not able to do so. And there we go. That's why I hate Nidalee. That is why I hate Nidalee. Look, even Insta's like, Nidalee. So Insta being a bit suicidal again. He gets the Shen ult, but it's still a 3-on-4 situation. Choppers will go down. The spear will hit once again. C3D might be in a bit of trouble as he gets taunted out. He will take it down by Xerath though, not the person that you really want that kill going to. We'll go back to base.
Right, so very, calculated aggression coming in from Mineski here. Does look like Exo will get off the way from that one, but like I was mentioning, they are making full use of this, hurt that Exo is able to put out on the side of Infinite there. And given the sense that PG has a relatively fast sieging pace, you can just switch to that pow, just increase your attack speed and be that annoying sieging champion that you can be. And because of that, they were able to take down the bottom turret relatively quickly, and take out that 2 kills. Just as instantaneous as well. So very good play coming in from Mineski. And right now at this point of time, they are sitting at a good 6k gold advantage and having that 1 turret advantage as well. And the thing that we have not really talked about in this game is that Snowy up in the top lane has just been left untouched.
Yes, and now we're actually going to see Noel go straight up to Firefox. Nice banish shots to get away there. Ultimate has to be used by Xerath to keep them at bay. They're going to turn this one out because they have Porsche Cup running in, but not a problem for Mineski. Just going to run away from them, say no problem.
Right, so Snowy at this point of time is just scaling up to this really tanky alligator at this point of time, having that Sunfire Escape completed and the Warden's Mill as well as that Giant's Belt. So he will be building up that Randon's Omen relatively quickly and soon. So he will be able to be this meat shield for Mineski here should they choose to finally go for a 5v5 engage, and that's something that we haven't seen from this game as well.
There's no really big team fights taking place. It's just been picks from both teams so far by Snowy and Noel, just keeping 4 members up at the top lane to kind of give them a little bit of attention. It's allowed the rest of Mineski to come down and pick up this dragon, and Noel's actually going to join up, pick it up as well.
Right, so I love this strategy coming in from there. So like we mentioned, they always like to divert attention away from Infinite in that sense. So because they don't necessarily have the worst team fight either, they could just choose to go for a team fight, but in that sense they always go for, they always group up together as 4 and let Snowy just farm up by himself, apply pressure up in the top lane. So very effective use of that strategy here. So once again, taking out another objective in the dragon.
Sue here is actually going to take blue buff on Riven. Going to increase the amount of cooldown he has on his abilities. Mineski, I feel like they should group up and push as 4 at least. He put Renekton up against Porsche and have the rest of their members push just because they excel at sieging towers because of their Nidalee pickup, and I feel like their team comp is very good at defending against initiates. Spears.
And we do see Exo finishing up that death cap already. I think at this point of time, it's literally, good for its name because it's called the death cap. The additional damage coming in from the spear would definitely result in some death here.
No, they just say no. They want to put the ace in the hole on Exo very early on. It's going to kill that one up without a problem.
Just out of pure frustration and
yes.
Like have a taste of their own medicine of that long range.
I mean, look at Insta. They don't even want to stay anywhere near Exo.
Right, so just the pure intimidation factor here, and just the one javelin toss taking Insta so low, and Insta is supposed to be the tank of the team as well. So very, very fearsome, signs coming in from Exo.
And Exo, he can miss as many spears as he wants because all it takes is 1 or 2 to land, and that's pretty much game over for the team fight that would have broken out. But meanwhile, we're going to have Noel jumped on in this bottom lane. Sue's going to go aggressive. The Curse of Sand Mummy doesn't get put down. Insta is very, very low. Flame Choppers go down, but a nice ultimate coming from Xerath will stop the advances of the rest of the Mineski crew.
That's right, so once again, Mineski, they will be the one just grouping up in this bottom lane once again. So this time around, Porsche Cup has to make a decision here. Should he want to go in to reinforce his teammates here? TG now slowly and steadily taking out this inhibitor, and once again, that SMD rocket not really, makes the full effect.
Insta in a lot of trouble now as the Shen ult does come down. It might get cancelled. No, it does not get cancelled as he was in a safe position to use it. However, Insta does get slain straight away. Now it's a 4-4 situation with Porsche Cup leading the front lines. The Destinus goes straight into Porsche Cup. Firefox will pick up the kill onto C3D though. TG is left at full health though. He can duel this one out if he wants to. A few spears will be more than enough from EXO to take down the fleeing members of Infinite. There goes the first javelin top. Will miss though, and a nice lockup coming from Xerath will stop their advance. But now this is the open inhibitor. EXO is going to throw a spear. Will miss though. Flash not able to do much. Xerath's gonna try and stop EXO. The spear will come out and will actually take him down. Flash was even used by Porsche Cup to try and block the round, but now Su is under aggression. TG should be able to turn this one around though. Noel managed chances to a minion in the back lines, which is not so good for him, but TG will get taken down by Firefox here, who had the home guard boots as well. Noel now in a bit of problems as Su takes a spear to the face, and Noel disconnects. No, he does not. He just stands still for a second and banish shots straight back. EXO now taking some damage. He should be able to turn the human form. Throw another spear, which will miss everybody as Noel will get taken down. Now we have Snowy coming in. Fancies his chances again for 3 people. Decides to back off with EXO. Sloppy fight from both of these teams.
Right, I would say, it was a very tricky strategy coming in from Noel. He decided to fake the disconnect there and let EXO land one final spear onto Firefox there, but unfortunately, even though as painful as it is, it's not just quite enough to take out Firefox in the process. But nevertheless, I like the plan there, just fake that disconnect there.
So as you can see, Infinite, no, don't go for the Baron. It's not good. They have immediately who's going to be there very shortly, and then you guys are going to pay for trying to do Baron, but he's actually getting some good damage on this. Might see C3D come around the side. There goes the first spear. Xerath gets chunked down. Baron's getting very low though. Infinite might be able to pick this one. Snowy's coming in. Rocket will not be enough to pick it up. Xerath though taking down so low. Snowy's in the middle of the team. There's the Dark Passage. We'll be able to click onto it. Snowy will actually pick off Xerath though. Taunt comes down. Snowy's locked up. The heal from Italy will keep it alive for a little bit longer as C3D gets taken down by Firefox. TG is trying to do his best to get some damage off onto Infinite. Not able to do so as EXO here still chasing onto Infinite. We'll turn to human form. We'll try and throw down a spear, which will hit Firefox. That's not even a max range spear coming out from EXO. Taking out so low. One random spear might be enough to take down Firefox. If he gets it, will he throw it? It will not connect though. Right, as he swipes in frustration. He's going to go back though. EXO still throwing spears left, right, and center. Going to face check this brush where Insta is, who's going to jump out of there with a flag lance combo. He's going to throw even more spears at his face, which Insta will casually sidestep.
That's right, so distraction strategy coming in from Mineski here as we do see TG taking up that mid lane second tier turret once more, and I would say it was a very good decision coming in from Infinite to turn onto Mineski there once they took away that Baron Nashor. And despite the talk that it's pretty dangerous for them to go for the Baron Nashor, nevertheless the mighty hands of Smite was able to take it down, and they did pick up 2 kills in the process, but at this point in time they are losing turrets and objectives also quickly, somewhat like a repeat of what we saw in the last game.
7,000 gold in favor of Mineski. I feel like they should try and close out this game with this gold advantage they have. Try and push for more objectives instead of letting Infinite decide the flow of the match.
So we do see Mineski grouping up once again, and one more javelin tossed down onto Xerath.
Whoa, the rocket comes down. Xerath can take out so low. Wow. There you go. Javelin's OP, but soon now stuck in between the brushes. The ult comes out from Shen. He might be able to turn this one around. GG is taking out solo. Curse of the Sandmine might be enough. No, Insta will take him out with the Cataclysm, instantly bursting him down. Insta now in a little bit of trouble after taking that spear to the face. He is solo, but Noel would not be able to finish him off as Porsche Cup takes away the rest of the team. Nice spear onto Firefox to less than 50% health. So a little bit of a misplay coming from Mineski. Nobody wanted to run into the brush to spot out where Su will be, and Su turned it around with Porsche Cup's ultimate very, very nicely.
Right, so they were able to come up ahead with that 2 for 1 trade, but nevertheless, Mineski still has that pressure around the other lanes of the map. But if Team Infinite is able to get something out of this, then definitely they would be on the on the start of a comeback, I would say.
A few spears is all it takes to actually poke down this Team Infinite push. Darius is not with them. We see C3D pause in the sidelines to try and get a death sentence off, which he does get onto Insta, who is incredibly low. Does not go for the second proc though, surprisingly. And Mineski will Shadow Dash out there.
But I'm quite surprised for Team Infinite here. You know, despite the fact that EXO is so painful with those Javelin pulse, there's, you know, literally no MR being built up on the side of Team Infinite here. I'm not too sure what's the rationale behind this, but in the sense they have, you know, optimized to go for, you know, more defensive items instead, like Remnant's Omen, but it's quite effective to kind of have some magic resistance on your end as well if you want to fend off those poke damage coming in from that Nidalee.
Team Infinite need to keep going for these hard initiates because that's where Nidalee kind of does not excel. So does Jinx. Jinx is very, very weak against hard initiates. So if Infinite can keep getting these initiates off before Spheres connect onto their champions, they should be able to deter the poke damage coming out from Mineski.
Right, but I think it's at this point of time where they want to find the proper positioning as well, because if they want to make full use of the damage, they need Su to kind of kite around towards the flank of Mineski here and, you know, go in for the hard initiate. So that's the key thing here, as we do see the Shurei getting popped, but Mineski just disengaging also quickly.
Su will take the zap to the face, has that Guardian's Angel up along with the upgrade to the Tiamat and the last Wisp. I can never remember saying the Ravenous Hydra. I can never remember that item's name just because I always call it the Tiamat.
The Ravenous Hydra indeed, and I think at this point of time the game is kind of slowing down in that sense, because both teams have kind of reached the threshold where it's going to be, you know, the one to make the mistake, you will kind of have a very heavy consequence to it. Because if Team Infinite, once again, if they lose out in the team fight, then definitely they would see one of the inhibitors going down in the process. But similarly for Mineski, if they make a mistake here, it's going to be up to Team Infinite to kind of claw back into this one and, you know, take back the objectives they have lost in the past 34 minutes in this game.
See Porsche come now. Doesn't take too much damage from the Spirit. Still quite significant amount of damage, but not too much, as we're going to see Infinite slowly come back into the game. As you said, it's kind of slowed down. That's really what Mineski didn't want to do, because this has allowed Infinite to regroup, rethink their strategy, and they're executing their plan quite well. Now they keep bursting down TG or EXO, which pulls the fight into their favor just because those are the two carries of Mineski, and both of them do not deal well in terms of hard initiates either.
Ooh. Once again, one more spear down into the end. The spear just taking the tank of the team by 1/3 of his HP, so still a very worrying sign for Infinite there. But this time around, I think they have gained some confidence in that sense. So they just need to kind of, like you said, you know, find the right team fights into this for them to kind of claw back into this one.
He's gonna go with the initiate, fails the flash bandage toss though, not able to connect with Firefox there. Now we're going to see a counter initiate. EXO gets caught out. He's going to get bursted down. EXO living with silver health because of the barrier and the Saracen base. The Porsche come down in a lot of trouble as the ult comes out from TG. Su now trying to chase down to the backline of Mineski, not able to do so, as Snoy single-handedly holds up these three champions as we see Renekton shut down that Caitlyn. We're actually going to see Su get taken out by TG there, and we saw very, very poor decision making coming in from Infinite. I felt like they should have gone for that fight much earlier than that. It allowed Mineski to get some good bursts off. They almost took down EXO early on, but they're just not able to finish it off, which is what they really need to do, and this might be where Mineski can finish the game.
That's right, we do see 3 members down on the side of Team Infinite there. It does look like Mineski will instead focus down on the inhibitors here, which, you know, I don't agree with this decision, but, you know, this time around it does look like they want to finish up the game, and the carries for Infinite here are not up to kind of defend this, and it does look like it will be Mineski picking up the second win of the night here on the Garena permanently as they slowly pound on the Nexus and Scout.
So Nidalee is weak against hard engage. They just hard engaged onto EXO and he lived. So Nyancat is OP, guys. Please ban Nidalee because she is too strong.
That's right. So in So in the sense, I like the strategy coming in from Mineski here. So very similar team composition to what they had in the previous game. This time they don't have that Nautilus pick. Instead they went for the Amumu pick and doing very well as in that sense, you know, having all those damage coming in and having the lockdown because of the Set Mummy. So well used of those hook city champions like you mentioned earlier.
I felt like Mineski could have played better in that game though, because Infinite, they capitalized on the fact that Mineski had a lineup whereby both TG and EXO were exposed to hard initiation.